You know,
What's going on, man?
I'm a little
It's Slang
disappointed.
Starfire.
Nice to meet you.
And, I'm a simple
Go
guy,
back
and
to
I
the world
live
of
my
Frank
life by really
Starfire.
simple means, you know what I mean?
It's an
And,
amazing
I live by
place.
simple mottos and credos
You
and
know,
phrases and everything because it works for me, you know what I mean?
wonderful
Lately,
happens.
I've adopted a new...
Going on, y'all? It's your boy Frank Starfire. This is the Just to Be Frank podcast. With me is my homeboy, the host of the newest podcast. I really love her podcast, debuting soon. Coach Cap, ladies and gentlemen. You know,
Put on a round of applause for me, please.
I don't have that option, but I'll add it in when I do the editing.
Throw on the round of applause. Everybody watching, put on the imaginary round of applause in your head and make the people do the wave around the arena as well.
Yeah, might as well just do everything. Fuck it. I mean, I'll do that in post. Luckily, I can. Well, thank you for joining me, sir.
Hey, no problem, brother.
I appreciate you, man. We just did the promo joint for your new show, so that should be good. Who else you got going? Who else you got doing it?
I'm not telling.
All right. That's fine. All right. You know what? I was trying to get inside of secrets and shit.
I will say that they are women.
Okay. Wait.
They're women.
Somehow I feel weird about that. Me and a bunch of chicks. All right.
The best way to be.
That's fair.
Best way to be.
That's fair. That is fair, man. Well, shit. You know what? This is my first recording in like almost a month. So
nice.
Yeah, man. You know what? I've taken some time off to kind of redevelop a relationship and kind of just deal with all the emotional crap that I had gone through and everything. And you know what? I'm back better for it. I feel good. You know what I'm saying? I feel
I need to do that.
Huh?
I said I need to do that.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like I said the other night with you and Wanda, man, the best thing I ever did was try shrooms, brother. And I know, listen, here's the internal bias that we all had, right? Because where we're from, when motherfuckers talk about shrooms and LSD and all that type of shit, automatically our minds are told, yo, that's that white boy shit. Don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And right, that's the internal bias we have. But the truth is, there's a large part of the scientific community that believes that our ancient hominid brethren, our human ancestors, if you will, that's kind of how they gained their ability to think by just eating random mushrooms in the wild and kind of develop, like tripping that fuck out and kind of gaining consciousness from that. You know what I'm saying? It's all throughout history. That's the reason we have Santa Claus. Like, all this. I'm serious. Like, I swear to God.
What does Santa do, man?
I explained it in a previous episode. So Christmas, as we know, is two pagan holidays put together. It's the winter solstice and something called Saturnalia.
Yeah.
And they were put together to create Christmas, right? But Santa Claus, they call him Saint Nicholas, and that's a great story. But the truth is, if you ever look at those, do you remember those old Christmas cards you probably used to get? And they'd be, all mad artistically done, all sorts of cool looking shit. You'd probably see mushrooms all over them, little red mushrooms with like white dots on it. Right?
I definitely don't remember none of that shit.
All right, but I certainly do, which is fucking weird. And there's an elk that eats these mushrooms, but they're psychedelic mushrooms. So people, being people, went behind them and ate them as well and tripped the fuck out and came up with. At least that's a theory. I don't know if that's true or not. And I'm okay with saying that's a theory, but it sounds interesting, and I like interesting shit. You know what I mean? But mushrooms and psychedelics are a definite part. Why do you think people drink alcohol? It's not a high psychedelic, but it's a mild one.
And here we are.
And here we are. I'm saying. Like it's the same principle, you know what I'm saying? It takes you, it expands the mind to a different thing. Now, alcohol doesn't have the same effects as something like psilocybin or LSD or DMT or peyote or ayahuasca or anything, any of those types of things. Even weed is a mild psychedelic, you know what I'm saying? But I would recommend that if anybody ever has a question about themselves, the world, their surroundings, anything they got going on, and just need a different perspective in their mind, try shrooms. You'll love it.
I'm gonna just go to therapy, Frank.
I mean, you can do that, but why pay for that when you could just pay for some shrooms? And
I got great insurance.
All right, that's fair. You know what? I do too, and I do need some mental. But you know, it's funny. The last episode I shot was with Dr. Mary Joy, who's a licensed therapist. She deals in codependency and things of that nature. And I can't lie, that was one of the most. That was one of the most profound conversations I've ever had with somebody, and it felt really good to actually speak to a mental health person, but also somebody who kind of has sort of a holistic approach. You know what I'm saying? And I always appreciate that, because I'm a firm believer that Western medicine and holistic medicine need to meld themselves together to get a full healing of a person. You know what I'm saying?
I barely fuck with any kind of medicine anyway, Frank.
You know,
so
listen, I'm one of the people that gives blood, dude.
Like it's hard for me to even take a Tylenol. Like seriously, like I will fight a headache until the very end, where I'm just like, oh, I can't fucking take it no more. Like
that's real. My girl's like, she will not take.
Yeah, I'll go take a nap. Like
yeah.
I'll go, you know what? I'm gonna go lay. I'm gonna try to sleep this off. I don't like pills. I came up a specific way, like in a specific time.
Yeah. All right.
My household had a specific type of people in it.
Right.
So I have specific like codes and guidelines and shit. And
that's fair.
I've never crossed those guidelines.
You know what's funny? Me neither.
I've literally never done anything past weed.
You know, well, you know what? Neither had I until I tried shrooms. And I'll be 40 in August. So at this point, I'm just, listen, I've smoked cigarettes, I've smoked cigars, I've drank liquor, I've smoked weed, but I've never, ever tried any other thing besides.
I couldn't.
No. I never wanted to. So I didn't. It never made sense to me to try it, so I didn't. I saw people around me try it and do it. I didn't want it. I don't like blowing my nose, let alone sniffing something up that shit. Like,
I remember so it's a long time ago. This was before skits was like the shit to do, right? Me, Sums, and a bunch of dudes from his block, we doing these skits and shit. So the skit is like I'm in a stroller, like the dude from Don't Be a Menace. And it's supposed to be like a drug deal going wrong, and like I'm like the drug lord, but I'm the little guy in the stroller and shit, and everybody puts me around, and we had flour on the table like it was cocaine. Like I gotta test it out, and I went to fake test it out, and fucking breathed in flour went all up my shit. The worst fucking feeling I ever had in my life. I wish he still had the tape.
Oh man.
I wish some still had the tape. The shit is hilarious.
Yeah, I wish that still survived.
The shit is hilarious. Like they're literally pushing me around in a fucking stroller. It's hilarious.
We had good times.
I for sure knew at that moment that putting shit up my nose was never gonna be the fucking move.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I've seen family members deal with that shit. It just
that's
never
another thing.
Yeah, it never dawned on me to want to try it, so I never did. And I'm thankful for that. But as far as like psychedelics, I always wanted to try LSD, and I always wanted to try shrooms. Like I have, because, but I had that fear of, oh no, I'm gonna go crazy. It's gonna make me schizophrenic. No, in all honesty and fairness, I felt like I felt like I smoked weed for the first time again. That's what it felt like. You know what I'm saying? But even a little bit more potent, and it didn't last very long. And because I microdosed, I only took like half a gram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I measured it out on a scale and all that shit. But it was definitely a transformative experience. I'll say that. I can say that. You know what I mean? It definitely had it.
I'm still gonna pass on that.
Yeah, well, listen, teach his own, brother. I come to Georgia, you gonna do some fucking shrooms, goddammit.
No, the fuck I'm not. Let me tell you. If it's one person you're not gonna get to do what you want them to do, it's a tourist, buddy.
I know. No, I'm gonna pass. No, I'm going to pass. Thank you.
Yeah, no means no.
No means
no. You will not rape me with your thoughts.
No, sir. No, you keep your shit to yourself, buddy. So you got the new podcast coming out.
Yes.
And you haven't dropped a new Slang Editorial in a while. But I know you've been busy producing and doing all this other shit, so.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of life has been going on.
Right.
So I stopped making music. Slang Editorial show kind of went on pause a little before that, strictly because life shit going on for some, life shit going on for me. So we're trying to figure out a way to get back to that. And me and him are working on an album together right now. And okay. I got an EP that's about 75% done.
You say 75, but knowing you, that means 50.
No. It's really like 75% done. Like I really just gotta fill in some blanks.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a fill in the blank type of thing now. And then I have the I Really Love a podcast, which was an idea I've had for a long time. And I kind of just, because I had other shit going on, I kind of just, put it in the back of my mind. And even like people pleasing, right? Like I'm working on stuff with other people and I don't know how they're going to feel about me just doing something myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, I went through some stuff, this past couple of months and I'm just like, you know what? Fuck everybody. And not in a, not in a disrespectful way, not in I'm not fucking with my people kind of way, but I had to learn that I have to focus on myself.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that like to take care of everybody and help everybody out and I'm one of those fucking people, and I'll push myself and my ideas and my ventures to the back burner to help all of these other individuals that I love and care about, and then I'll forget about myself. So it's like, nah, fuck that. So I'm like, I have this idea. I really want to work on it, and I'll still be including a lot of people that I fuck with.
Right.
It's gonna basically be it's kind of based on the Common song, I Used to Love Her, and that first line in the in Brown Sugar with the journalist. She's like, when did you fall in love with hip hop? That's basically the show, and it's me interviewing, different people I know, just friends that are musicians, friends from different walks of life. Like, you don't have to be somebody that makes music to be on the show, but you do have to have some kind of love for hip hop, because I'm always interested in how people got into hip hop and how people fell in love with it as deep as they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know me, I was born into it.
Yeah.
So I've known hip hop all my life, but I would have conversations with people and they'd be like, yeah, the first album I ever heard was Illmatic. Or they'll be like, the first tape I ever had was a Jay-Z album. like volume 2, like Hard Knock Life Jay-Z.
Right.
And I'd be like, these people I've talked to, they're like, yeah, I didn't start listening to hip hop until I got to high school. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm amazed when it's somebody like my age, and it's like, dang, well, a lot of people were sheltered away from hip hop, or they came from, you know, deep like religious families or shit like that. So it's interesting to have those conversations and then to see how people connect to it in these different time frames and stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting because some people, like I know people who literally don't allow hip hop in their house, and you know, because they have this misconception about what it is. And yes, there is a shit ton of misogynistic, crazy, bullshit, murderous, all sorts of craziness. But you know what? Behind all that, there is a message about everything. You know what I mean? And I think people miss that because you have to think about it. These people who are rapping this music and saying this shit, either they did it or they know somebody that did, and they're telling you what they went through. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they're not doing it anymore because they're rapping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, take that into perspective, but and then beyond that, well, listen, I was trying. Listen, I was trying to not, think about that.
It's all in how you get. It's all in how it comes to you, right?
Right.
If those are the only images and the only songs that they have to reference hip hop to, then that's what they're gonna think. Like if I tell you every day for your whole life, don't go around the corner, because around the corner it's nothing but trouble, it's drugs, it's dies, whatever, right? And you don't know that also around the corner there's a kid that's going to college, and there's a kid that's smart as hell, and there's an old man that has a lot of knowledge that you could talk to, and he can give you information. Like if you don't know that, you'll never meet that old man. You'll never know that kid. You know what I'm saying? You'll only have in your mind, well, I'm never going around the corner because there's nothing but drugs and violence, and I can get shot over there.
Yeah.
And there's good people around the corner. It doesn't matter. They can tell you all day, oh, don't go to the projects. The projects is a horrible place, but there's good people in the projects too. And it's just, some people just got to not be so close-minded and walk their ass around the corner.
That's right. And
you know what I'm saying?
Those are fear tactics. And, we grew up in an era when, like, it's funny. I think about it really interestingly. Like, I was a latchkey kid, meaning I had a key to the house, or somebody was going to be there, and I came and went as I fucking pleased. I didn't really have to tell anybody. As long as I made it home by a certain time, I was good. And I did. And sometimes I didn't take a bus. I walked a lot of places. And I talked to strangers, and I picked their brain, and I did. I fucking did. I really did. I was the kid that walked around and was like, "Hey, mister, how you doing? Yeah, I'm Frank. I'm from Hollis, Queens. Yeah. So what do you do?"
You was looking to get kidnapped, Frank.
You know what? Subconsciously, maybe, but.
I want you to know that you was definitely looking to be kidnapped with that attitude.
But I never did. I just met interesting people, and I've always had the fascination because I was raised in a household of people who told you manners and grammar were important. So I practiced that shit. Like, hey, how are you? It was polite to introduce yourself to somebody, and there's still fucking people I know to this day that will be like, "Yo, I remember when you just used to walk around," and it's weird when you see yourself through other people's eyes, especially when you were a kid. And you know what I'm saying? I think about me as a kid. God, he needed a fucking whole life makeover. He needed everything. He had issues, man. Like, I guess that's the grace of aging. We get to reflect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Reflection is good, and then sometimes you might catch that memory that you was trying to forget.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I always say nostalgia is a harbinger of great joy or immense pain. It's up to you to feel, you know what I mean? You're going to feel either way. But I think everything you went through, anything you went through, and you've made it through to the other side of it, those are teachable moments. Those are things that you can tell your kids and teach your kids and people and teach other people through your music and your artistic endeavors. You can reach people with those experiences and maybe help somebody do something different that maybe they wouldn't have done, or maybe keep somebody from doing some shit that they shouldn't do.
If they listen.
If they listen. More often than not, they don't. We old heads now. They don't listen to us.
That is the hardest part of being knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Is whether what you're trying to, whether the information you're trying to give to people is going to be well received and taken in and actually used in their toolbox at some point.
You know, nowadays the biggest risk is cancel culture, which I think is just the biggest piece of.
I don't give a fuck about that.
I don't either, and that's why it doesn't affect me, because I'm like, yo, you can't cancel me if I don't give a fuck about your cancellation. You know what I mean? I'm weird like that. Like, I just, like, we grew up in that I don't give a fuck era. Like, you sound stupid trying to say that.
I grew up watching Trading Places. It's like one of the most racist movies I've ever seen in my life.
What? One of the funniest as well. But one of my favorite movies.
But it's so much, as you get older,
racism.
As you grow older, the more and more you watch it, you like, this is some racist shit. But it's funny.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, yo, everybody, as long as you don't go too far over the edge, everybody's entitled to opinion, and every moment is a teachable moment. You know what I'm saying? Most people just so caught up in their fucking feelings, and they want the world to be the way that they want the world to be, that they're willing to get rid of anything that's not like that. And then what happens? You got a whole bunch of yous running around that look stupid.
Yeah, basically.
Because then you're gonna start finding out what's wrong with the multiple versions of you.
Yeah, and that can be just a complete and utter mind fuck, honestly. Like, just when you think about
it.
But the problem is, most people don't have the introspection to be able to say, "Oh, well, maybe I should listen to this other opinion, or maybe I should hear what this person thinks," as opposed to just judging them based on what they think.
Maybe I should watch the whole 1 hour interview and have some context to this 2-second clip.
Yo, dog. Oh my God. Like, and it's funny because I know I'm going to talk about this on Agree to Disagree with Sean. But it's like, yo, all this, y'all want to cancel Joe Rogan. You want to cancel this person. You want to cancel Dave Chappelle. You want to cancel. Why? You know what I'm saying? I get it. He said the N-word. Shouldn't say the N-word. All right, cool. I agree with that.
But should I not say it if I'm reading a passage or I'm reading something off of a screen? That's what I'm like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or if I'm quoting somebody.
Right, if it's a quote from somebody. Like I'm not saying it for my. So now should we in movies where race is involved, right? Should we just stop every white person from saying nigger?
Quentin Tarantino can't make any
context
more
of the film.
Tarantino can't make any more movies.
Like, so it's like, where do we draw the line with this shit? Because, yeah, cool, I understand, but there's got to be a point where we're like, chill the fuck out.
Right.
Like, you're going too far. You're trying too hard to crush somebody for your own personal good. You didn't care the 20, 30 times he said it.
Right.
You didn't care until now when it's against whatever your agenda is.
Right.
And that's where the problem is.
Because there is an agenda. There's a narrative. And it's real. Like, you have to follow the narrative. You have to repeat the narrative, or you can kiss everything goodbye because a bunch of people on the internet are mad at you. Go fuck yourself. Fuck that.
It's ridiculous. It's out of control, and everybody's too fucking sensitive.
Yeah.
And me, personally, I don't give a fuck how sensitive you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say how I feel. Now, me, I'm very respectful. I can read a fucking room, but however I feel is how I feel. And I might not feel like that tomorrow. I might not feel that way tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. You know what I'm saying? I can change my mind and look back and say, damn, I probably was wrong. I probably shouldn't have said, or maybe I could have worded it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But you got to give people the room to grow and learn from whatever the experience is.
Right.
As opposed to just being like, man, fuck that motherfucker, get rid of him, trash him. Come on.
Cut it the fuck out, man. Stop wasting.
It's not like he told a bunch of people to go storm a building and tear it up.
No, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Or mandate vaccines to people for no fucking reason. Like, listen, like, in all honesty and fairness, everything is just getting a little out of hand right now. I don't give a fuck if you're vaccinated or not. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what your pronoun is. What's your name? What is your name? Okay, I call you Funflowers Sanchez.
That is such a conversation that is so hard to have, and
it is
as a person that is an outsider to it. It's a hard conversation to ask. I mean, to have, because I'm confused.
Yeah, because we're of a certain time and place where it wasn't there, so now it's there, and I'm like, okay, acceptance. But I don't care enough to want to have to know all this new information about all these pronouns. I don't need to know your pronoun. I don't care. What is your name?
And look, don't get mad at me for mistaking you for what you visually look like to me.
Right.
I don't fucking know you.
Right. And I'm not disparaging you. I'm not shaming you. I'm simply saying, what's your name? Because all the extra shit doesn't matter to me. What is your name? Who are you as a person? Tell me who you are.
Excuse me for saying ma'am or sir if you look like a ma'am or a sir.
Right. I don't know the difference. I have one good eye. Believe me,
I don't fucking know you. It's one thing if a person knows you and they're purposely being a dickhead about whatever. Right. But for a person that doesn't know you, don't try to go off on. No.
Leave me the fuck alone.
That's not cool. Hey, you know what? I don't really go by that. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Nice to meet you. You know what I'm saying? No,
I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'm not a fucking man. I'm a fucking lady. Well, you got a flat top and no titties.
Sorry.
Man, now, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. It's hard for people. Like, I just rather the world just be like Wally and I float on this fucking chair and order my food and stay my ass in the fucking house, because I don't want to deal with people no more. I hate them.
You know what? I don't want to be like that, but I understand the sentiment.
I only want to deal with the people I know and I want to deal with.
Right. And again, I'm not disparaging anybody. We're not disparaging anybody. We're simply saying, when is enough? Like I get it. Be who you want to be. Nobody's telling you
that's not the problem.
Like, but don't force it on everybody to fuck else to conform what your ideology is. Like,
you can't change my 40-year-old mindset in 2 days.
Nope. It ain't gonna happen. It's gonna take some time.
And it's not that easy. It's like dieting.
Right. It's not that easy.
I will eat if I've been eating a steak every day for 40 fucking years, and at year 40, you're trying to make me be a fucking vegan, it's gonna be tough.
Tough. I guess I now have to ask this. Have you eaten a steak every day for 40 years?
No.
Oh, thank God.
It's a metaphor, Frank. Come on.
I know, but listen, somebody was gonna sit there and say, "Oh my God, he eats a steak every day, 40 years."
And if I did, so the fuck what? It's my heart to get attacked. Okay, that's the thing. Just like it's your preference to choose whatever the fuck you want to choose.
Right.
Ding.
I remember a time when where you did not discuss who you voted for, what you did in your bedroom, or your religion. Those were the three things you did not discuss with anybody.
And I still don't.
Off the table. And now, well, listen, I ain't gonna lie. It's the one thing I always say. Social media has brought rise to the idea that you can say whatever the hell you want and not get punched in the face for it.
Oh yeah.
And social media, and that's the hugest problem. Media, the main word in that is media. Media has made it so that there's a bajillion TikTok stars for no fucking reason. Media has made it so that you digest news as sound bites from 2-second clips from bullshit. Media is the reason why nobody can think for their fucking self, and why you have to be told what to think, how to think. Don Lemon or Tucker Carlson has to tell you what the fuck to think, or you don't know shit. And that's just fucking wrong and stupid in so many ways.
That's because people don't want to read, Frank. If we all just read just a little bit, you don't got to read every day. The news, you don't have to read all of the newspaper.
No,
but just get into the key points.
Listen,
read some other shit.
It's funny. There's a Twilight Zone episode. It's one of my favorites with a dude. He locks himself in a vault and to read his book, and a nuclear holocaust happens. So he's alone by himself. He can read all the books he wants, and then he breaks his glasses. So
that's fucked up, man.
Yeah, that's a fucked up episode. But I can't lie, there were nothing but books to read, and there was no more internet and all that type of shit. I don't think I'd be that angry about it, because I didn't have it when I grew up. I don't.
I'm good if the grid goes down.
What? I'm gonna learn how to hunt this year. I'm definitely gonna be good. And saying that, I'm definitely gonna have to come to Georgia, because Georgia has some good fucking game to hunt.
Yeah, and I got records, I got tapes, I got VHS, I got DVDs still. I didn't scale down for nothing.
If the grid goes down, almost none of that's gonna work. But you got generators. You gotta have a generator.
Yeah, I get a generator.
Bro,
I can get a radio that takes batteries, take tapes. Yeah,
I will get a CB radio out this motherfucker and host the Just to Be Frank podcast like that. Yeah. Well, this is Frank checking in. Fuck.
There's ways.
That's what
There's ways, but I will be entertained.
Yep. And again, I have books, so I'm fine.
I got books too.
You know what I mean? I'm fine. I'll learn how to fucking hotwire a car, learn some new shit. I already know how to do that, but
allegedly, Frankie.
Right, allegedly, right. Allegedly, I know how to hotwire a car and pick locks and all that type of shit. I'm not Batman, no. But and this is what you've gotten in 5 seasons, me talking this type of shit. And I'm okay with it. I don't care. I'm always thinking of this cancel culture shit, this new like I think about the things that we couldn't do now that we definitively did when we were kids, and the things we watched and all that. Like, you couldn't make a show like Different Strokes now.
No.
You couldn't make that shit. Forget about it. You couldn't do that.
I definitely could.
You know what I mean? You could probably do the Facts of Life. You could probably do that, but like 3 of them going to be non-gender conformed.
It's going to be
characters, and at least one gay girl. So although I think we all know Joe was the gay one on that show. And these are just jokes, people. Like, this is just me talking shit.
But look, like, why do we have to? Why do you have to explain that it's just
because nobody? Because I guarantee you, if you don't explain it, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, fuck that."
That is so fucked up, though.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
you're not allowed to just talk shit and crack jokes anymore. Like, you're not allowed to just be.
That's why you just gotta find your tribe and stay there.
Yeah.
Because, like, in my house, we talk a specific kind of way. we're equal opportunity racists around here, right? But I gotta explain to my kids, like, yo, the kind of, joking around and playing and shit that we do, you're not gonna be able to do that outside. You have to be careful when you're outside, because people aren't gonna understand it.
Right.
When you go outside and you say something jokingly and they get offended. You know what I'm saying? I hate that I have to do that with them.
Why do we even have to do that? Like,
because people are a bunch of fucking sissies. That's why. They're a bunch of bitches. They're a bunch of fucking pussies, and they don't know how to fucking step outside of themselves.
Right.
And outside of their little crybaby feelings. Like, learn to brush some shit off. Everything's not bullying. Everything's not hate. Everything's not bullying. And that's something I really have to teach my kids. Because you crack a joke on your kids. Oh, they'll go, stop bullying me. That's not bullying.
Oh.
That's me just fucking clowning around with you.
Right.
But if you want to know what bullying really is,
oh my,
I can show you.
I can show you.
My favorite quote is Tyler, the Creator, said, I don't understand how there's cyberbullying. Just turn the fucking computer off. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you let somebody 8 states away type you into depression? Block them and cut it off.
Right.
There's a kid right now going to school every day getting punched in the eye by the fucking fat kid whose dad's beating him up. Now that's bullying.
That's bullying. and you feel, and you know what's funny? It's interesting that you say it that way, because that's exactly and precisely usually the case. Like,
bullying and hating are the 2 things that I dislike the most in this day and age. Because the moment you say, I don't like something, they'll say you're hating on it. No, I don't like your fucking t-shirt line because I think it's whack as fuck.
Right.
My opinion on it is, it's whack. That's not hate. Hating is if I'm sitting here going, why the fuck this motherfucker got a clothing line? He ain't shit. That's hating.
That's definitely hating.
Yeah. Me downplaying your accolades and shit like that is hating. Me saying I don't like your product or I don't like your song or something like that is not hating. I just don't like it. It doesn't fit what I want to fucking fuck with on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
And I'm entitled to that. I'm entitled to not like that. I'm entitled to not like you, motherfucker.
You're lucky I do. Like, like shit, I'm like, and that's what I try. It's weird because, there's always gonna be that shit talking element to everything. You know what I'm saying? And there has to be a place for that. Just like there has to be a place where, a place for you to feel safe and secure and comfortable in your person and who you are. Like, you shouldn't be disparaged for who you are. That's exactly what I'm saying. But the truth is, you also should be able to be strong enough in your own character to be able to be like, whatever, motherfucker. That's why you know what I'm saying? Crack something back, man. Like,
I fear for sports. Can you imagine the day that's gonna come when people start quitting the NBA because somebody was trash talking them on the court and they just can't take it anymore?
Yes, I can picture that. And
like, that day is coming. Like, I'm literally watching rap artists, just musicians in general. Oh my God, I can't take this. It's too much for me. I feel like I'm selling my soul by performing at these shows for $300,000 and da 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 da. And I'm sitting here like,
can I have the $300,000 to perform at these shows? Like, what are we doing? Can I have it? I get the pressure.
What rock have you newer artists lived under where you did not see the breakdowns and the stressfulness of the music industry from all of these people before you? That it's if I run down the list of people that have had breakdowns, depression, drug issues, you know what I'm saying? Where's the part where you look at that and you like, this is what a lot of that comes with this industry. Before you even got into it, there's a million stories that let you know this is the direction it could go in. How do you not know?
You know, you can take any one of them names that you talk about and just simply say, yo, you literally there's a timeline.
Yeah.
Like, and all you have to do is just pay a little bit of attention.
The man said, I feel like I'm selling my soul, but they offer me $300,000 to perform. And it's like, I can't not do it. Well,
who said that?
What's the young it's a young artist. It's hard for me to listen to his music. It's depressing as hell all the time. Rod Wave.
Okay.
Rod Wave. And he's like, yeah, this music business is like me selling my soul and all of this. And I'm just like, fam, a lot of this shit is what comes with it. But you also you can also say no.
Right.
You can also say, nah, I'm not going to pick up that show. And nah, I'm not going to do this. And you can, if you do right by your money, you don't fuck it off frivolously. You don't take care of all 800 people that you were friends with as a kid, and they're going to fucking narrow that down to 3 people within the next 5 years anyway.
Quicker than that.
Because you're going to see how much money you're spending on all these other people, which is shit that other artists have said. But anyway, all of this has been done already. So what are you saying? What kind of conversations are you having with these elders that you're meeting? Are you saying, oh my God, I'm your biggest fan, I'm so happy to meet you? Or are you saying, yo, how do I navigate this shit, big dog? Because that should be the conversation that you have. They might not offer up the information to you right away, but maybe if you ask, somebody's going to tell you, hey, man, you might want to move in this direction. You might want to move in that direction. If you feel like it's that much stress on you, go get a 9 to 5. Because there's 100,000 people ready to take your spot.
If not more.
Yeah. And I'm not saying don't feel how you feel, but what are you going to do about it? Right. Crying to the fucking internet is not going to help you.
Right.
I'm not one of these people that like to be all out in the public and da-da-da-da-da. Then why the fuck did you sign a record deal?
What do you do?
I mean, I know why, because you're broke and you need money and you want to take care of your family. But guess what? Doing shows, walkthroughs, radio interviews, and all of this stuff, that comes with it. But you need to figure out a lane. And that's just in any aspect of life where you feel like you're selling yourself short and doing too much and selling your soul or whatever the fuck. You can say no. You can say no to anything.
Yeah. But sometimes it's interesting because sometimes saying no can make you lose friends, lose family, and these are times that's when you have to say, oh well.
Yeah, you gotta know what your value is to yourself.
That is something that most people don't really.
Yeah, because
most people are not that introspective.
Because if your soul is only worth $300,000, what happens when you're not worth the 300 no more? What you gonna do for 5? And then 2, then what? You know what I'm saying? What happens then? It's tough, man. I wish these guys would read more and do more research and ask more questions. Like there's a whole series on TV1 called Unsung that tells you. And literally every episode is a pitfall of the music industry.
Yep.
Every episode. I get disappointed when there's not an episode that don't involve cocaine use. I'll be watching it like, damn, they had a good career. No cocaine?
No cocaine? Oh, shit. Y'all half-assed it. Are they really bringing back Rap City the Basement?
They did it for like that one time around the BT Hip Hop Awards. I don't know if they're gonna bring it back officially.
They should.
It would be nice, but who's watching really gonna host it? Who's really gonna host it though? You really want to see Tigger host it?
Yeah, kinda, I guess, because I can't think of anybody else.
DC Young Fly.
I'll take him. Yep, I'll take him.
DC Young Fly be a good, or like just the 85 South Show, period.
Yeah.
If they alternated or whatever.
Let them all host it together.
Because they freestyle. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They got bars.
Freestyle. They got great sense of humor. They have knowledge of hip hop.
Yeah.
With the exception of DC Young Fly, the other 2 guys are a little bit older.
Yeah.
So they have you know what I'm saying? It's another perspective. That would be dope if it comes back like that. I would definitely be down to see that.
That would be amazingly cool. I think that would be nice, man. Well,
because I would love to see the freestyles every episode.
Man, listen, just different artists showing their artistry. Like there was something magical about that. And there I go talking magic again, but that's what it was.
Yeah.
Well, shit, good brother. I want to thank you so much for joining me, man.
Oh, no problem, man.
Listen, you know what?
Anytime.
When are we gonna get the I Really Love Her podcast? Was that gonna drop?
Soon. I have no date on it as of yet.
Okay.
But soon.
All right.
Working out some of the kinks.
Well, shit. When it about to drop, let me know so I can put the promo in and.
Oh yeah. I definitely let you know. You'll be the first to know, Frank.
Yeah. Yo, shit, man. Listen, like I said, I thank you, brother, for Coach Cap, ladies and gentlemen. Of course,
throw my round of applause right back in.
I'm doing it in post. I am, of course, your boy Frank Starfire. This has been the Just to Be Frank podcast. If you like what you heard, hit the like button, subscribe, follow on Spotify, Rumble.
Yeah. If you don't, you're canceled.
Your word up. wherever you find this shit, find it, enjoy it, love it, listen to it. I appreciate you as ever. One love, abracadabra. Peace.